Hello and welcome. If you are a British citizen in a relationship with someone from outside the UK and you are dreaming of building a life together here on British soil, then this video is your essential guide. Today, we are going to walk through the process of how you, the British partner, can sponsor your foreign partner for a UK spouse visa. The journey can seem daunting, filled with paperwork and legal requirements, but with the right information, it is a path you can navigate successfully. We will break down everything you need to know, from the financial thresholds to the accommodation rules, and all the crucial documents you will need to provide. We will be spelling out all the figures and currencies to ensure everything is crystal clear. So, grab a cup of tea, and let's get straight to the point on how to bring your loved one home. Before we dive into the specifics, it's important to understand your role as the sponsor. You are the anchor of this application. While your partner is the applicant, your circumstances in the UK are what the Home Office will scrutinise to ensure your partner can be supported without relying on public funds. Your eligibility is just as important as your partner's. You must be a British or Irish citizen, have settled status in the UK, or have refugee leave or humanitarian protection. Both you and your partner must be over the age of 18. The first major hurdle for many is the financial requirement. This is a critical part of the application and one that causes a lot of anxiety. As of the latest updates in 2025, the minimum income requirement you, the British sponsor, must meet is £29,000 per year. This figure was increased to ensure that your partner will not become a financial burden on the state. It's important to note that this is a gross annual income, meaning it's your salary before tax. There are several ways you can meet this financial requirement. The most straightforward is through your employment income. If you have been with your current employer for at least 6 months, you will need to provide payslips for that period, along with a letter from your employer confirming your employment, your gross annual salary, and the length of your CAL. Employment. Your bank statements showing the deposit of your salary will also be required. If you have been in your current job for less than 6 months, but you earn significantly more than the £29,000 threshold, you can still meet the requirement. In this scenario, you must demonstrate that you have earned at least £29,000 in the 12 months leading up to the application. This can be from your current and any previous employment. For those who are self-employed, the rules are a bit more complex. You will need to provide evidence of your income from the last financial year, or an average of the last 2 financial years. This one involves submitting documents such as your self-assessment tax returns and business accounts. It is also possible to meet the financial requirement through cash savings. If you are relying solely on savings, you will need to have at least £88,500. These savings must have been held in an account in your name, your partner's name, or jointly for at least 6 months prior to the application and must be readily accessible. You can also use a combination of income and savings to meet the threshold. For example, if your annual income is £25,000, you can use savings to make up the £4,000 shortfall. The calculation for this can be a bit tricky, so it's worth seeking advice if you're going down this route. Other sources of income that can be considered include pensions, maternity allowances, and bereavement benefits. However, income-related benefits will not be counted towards the financial requirement. There are exemptions to the financial requirement for those who receive certain benefits, such as the personal independence payment or carer's allowance. In these cases, you will need to meet the adequate maintenance requirement instead, which means demonstrating you have enough income after housing costs to support your family. Once you have the financial side covered, the next crucial element is accommodation. You must be able to prove that you have adequate accommodation for both you and your partner, and any dependents, without recourse to public funds. This means the property must not be overcrowded and must comply with public health regulations. You do not need to own your own home to meet this requirement. Renting is perfectly acceptable, and you can even live with family or friends. If you own your property, you will need to provide documents such as the title deed or a mortgage statement. If you are renting, you will need to provide your tenancy agreement and a letter from your landlord confirming that your partner is permitted to live in the property. If you are living with family or friends, you will need a letter from them confirming that you and your partner have permission to live there. This letter should also state that the property will not be overcrowded with the addition of your partner. It is highly recommended to get a property inspection report in these situations to provide independent verification that the accommodation is suitable. This report will assess the number of rooms and the size of the property to confirm it meets the required standards. The key is to demonstrate that you have exclusive use of at least one bedroom in the property. You can share common areas like the kitchen and bathroom. The Home Office needs to be satisfied that you and your partner will have a secure and safe place to live upon their arrival in the UK. As the sponsor, you will also need to provide a number of personal documents to support the application. These include proof of your British nationality, such as a copy of your passport or citizenship certificate. You will also need to provide evidence of your immigration status or residency in the UK. A sponsorship declaration is another key document you will need to provide. This is a letter in which you confirm your support for your partner's application and your intention to live together permanently in the UK. Now, let's talk about your partner's requirements, as you will be instrumental in helping them gather the necessary information and documents. A crucial element is proving that your relationship is genuine and subsisting. This is to satisfy the Home Office that your marriage or civil partnership is not one of convenience. You will need to provide evidence of your relationship history. This can include your marriage certificate, and if it's not in English, a certified translation is required. You should also gather evidence of your communication, such as WhatsApp chats, emails, and call logs, especially if you have been in a long-distance relationship. Photographs of you together at different times and in different places are also very helpful. Evidence of any trips you have taken together, like flight bookings and hotel reservations, should be included. If you have any children together, their birth certificates will be important evidence. Statements from family and friends attesting to your relationship can also strengthen your application. Your partner will also need to meet the English language requirement. For the initial spouse visa application, they will need to pass an approved English language test at a minimum level of A1 on the Common European Framework of Reference the Languages. This test assesses their speaking and listening skills. The test must be taken at a Home Office-approved test centre. There are exemptions to this requirement, for example if your partner is a national of a majority English-speaking country, or if they have a degree that was taught or researched in English. Your partner will also need to provide their valid passport or other travel documents. If they are from a country where a tuberculosis test is required, they will need to provide a valid TB test certificate. The application itself is done online through the gov.uk website. The application fee for a spouse visa from outside the UK is currently £1,846. There is also a mandatory immigration health surcharge that must be paid, which gives your partner access to the National Health Service. Once the online application is submitted and the fees are paid, your partner will need to book an appointment at a visa application centre in their country to have their biometrics, which are their fingerprints and the photograph, taken. They will also submit their supporting documents at this appointment. The standard processing time for a spouse visa application from outside the UK is around 12 weeks. However, this can vary depending on the country and the complexity of the application. There are priority services available for an additional fee that can speed up the decision-making process. If the application is successful, your partner will be granted a visa for an initial period of 33 months if applying from outside the UK. After this period, they will need to apply for an extension, and after 5 years of continuous residence in the UK on a spouse visa, they can apply for indefinite leave to remain, which is also known as settlement. Sponsoring your partner for a UK spouse visa is a significant undertaking, that it is a journey of love that leads to a shared life in the UK. The key to a successful application is meticulous preparation and attention to detail. Ensure you have gathered all the necessary documents, that you meet the financial and accommodation requirements, and that you can provide compelling evidence of your genuine and subsisting relationship. Remember to check the latest guidance on the UK Home Office website, as immigration rules can and do change. While this video provides a comprehensive overview, every couple's situation is unique, and for complex cases, seeking advice from an immigration lawyer can be invaluable. We hope this guide has provided you with the clarity and confidence you need to take the next steps. Don't be discouraged by the process. Thousands of couples successfully navigate this path every year. With careful planning, you can too. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more informative content. We wish you the very best of luck on your journey to being reunited with your partner in the UK.